Hello, I'm Peter Quant with Teen V. Today we have with us Judi England, a Kripalu certified yoga instructor, RN, licensed massage therapist, and blogger for the Times Union's Holistic Health blog. Judi, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, as you mentioned, I wear a lot of hats during the day. I do massages for the most part. I teach yoga classes, and I do presentations for offices and corporations on stress management and conscious eating and those kinds of things. But the best thing about what I do is I get to wear clothes that look like this, no three-piece suits, and most people who come to see me leave a lot happier than when they arrive.
That's not. Judi, can you tell us a little bit about how stress affects the body?
Gee, I'm sure you could tell me a little bit about how stress affects the body.
I could tell you
the
that.
problem is most people are unaware of this really amazing mechanism we have built into our bodies called fight or flight. So when there's a stress in your life, whether it's something as monumental as that final exam you're facing the following morning, or somebody cutting you off in traffic that's a little less threatening, your body goes through the same procedure. The pupils of the eye dilate so you can see the threat a little more clearly. Blood pours to the big muscles of the body so that you can either fight the threat or run away. Glucose pours to the brain. But the one system that almost completely shuts down is your digestive system. So if you've ever wondered why you get indigestion when you're studying for an exam, that's why.
That makes sense. Are some people more susceptible to stress than others?
You know, I think that's really true. I've seen a lot of people, worked with them as a nurse, as a massage therapist, and as a yoga teacher. And I think by nature, some people are wired, you know, they talk about type A's that way. And also the messages that we receive when we're growing up from parents, from teachers, about the pressure to achieve and to be a certain way rather than maybe the way we are. So it's a, you know, it's a combination of nature and nurture.
Yeah. Could you show us a couple of techniques that young people can use to reduce stress?
I'm going to correct you there. Not young people, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start with something that's accessible all the time, hopefully something that you're doing all the time, and just use that as a technique to become more mindful and more relaxed. And it's the breath.
Okay.
Hopefully you're breathing all the time, right? So notice how he just sat up in his chair. So he's making more room for the breath. And so what I'm going to suggest to you, Peter, is that for the most part during the day, we breathe very shallowly from the chest. So I'm going to invite you to put your hands on your belly, and you won't have to do this after you learn the technique, because you certainly don't want to walk around like that, right?
Absolutely not.
All right. So I'm going to suggest that you envision the belly like a balloon, and as you breathe in, let the balloon expand. Good. And as you breathe out, feel it sink back towards your spine. So breathing in and out through the nose, keeping your shoulders relaxed. So even after just a couple of breaths, did you notice how your breath was slowing down?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was getting a little bit deeper. And probably what you're not aware of is your blood pressure is also going down. So you're taking that stress response, and instead of going from 0 to 60, you're putting the brakes on. You're going from 60 back to 0.
All right, this is great, but how would you remember to do this throughout the day?
I have a little technique that I love. It's called the little green dots. And these are handy dandy little stickers. You can get them in any office supply store or stationery store. And there's a lot of them in there, so share them with your friends. And I gave you, I cut some up for you. They're not all green. Some of them are red and some of them are blue. So what I'm going to suggest to you, Peter, is that you take these dots and during the day today, put them in places where you're going to see them during the day. Maybe on your telephone, your computer screen, your car dashboard. You tell me you play ball, right?
I do play baseball.
Put it on your pitcher's mitt.
Okay,
right?
that'd work.
So someplace where you're going to notice it.
Yeah.
And then when you notice a dot, stop what you're doing just for a second. Take one of those deep abdominal breaths. Notice how you're feeling in your body. Notice where your thoughts are. Notice where your energy and your emotions are. Take another breath. Go back to where you're doing. And I promise you, it will reground you, and you'll go on your way feeling much more relaxed and much more comfortable.
All right. That's all the time we have for today. A special thanks to Judi England for demonstrating helpful do-it-yourself stress reduction techniques. If you'd like to learn more about these techniques, consider signing up for an upcoming introductory program on meditation led by Judi. For more information, email yogajudi@aol.com or call 598-6968. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you. I'm Peter Quant from Teen V.